Yesterday by Haruki Murakami. Erika didn't express an opinion. I put the money for my coffee on the table and stood up. It's an important report, I explained, so I really can't put it off actually, it didn't matter all that much. I will call you tomorrow or the day after, I told Erika. I will be looking forward to it, she said, a wonderful smile rising to her lips. A smile that, to me at least, seemed a little too good to be true. I left the coffee shop, and as I walked to the station, I wondered what the hell I was doing. Brooding over how things had turned out, after everything had already been decided, was another of my chronic problems. That Saturday, Erika and I met in Shibuya and saw a Woody Allen film set in New York. Somehow I'd got the sense that she might be fond of Woody Allen movies. And I was pretty sure that Kitaru had never taken her to see one. Luckily, it was a good movie, and we were both feeling cheerful when we left the theater. We strolled around the twilight streets for a while, then went to a small Italian place in Sakuragaoka and had pizza and Chianti. It was a casual, moderately priced restaurant. Subdued lighting, candles on the tables. Most Italian restaurants at the time had candles on the tables and checked gingham tablecloths. We talked about all kinds of things, the sort of conversation you'd expect two college sophomores on a first date to have, assuming you could actually call this a date. The movie we'd just seen, our college life, hobbies. We enjoyed talking more than I'd expected, and she even laughed out loud a couple of times. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I seem to have a knack for getting girls to laugh. I heard from Akikun that you broke up with your high school girlfriend not long ago. Erika asked me. Yeah, I replied. We went out for almost 3 years, but it didn't work out. Unfortunately, Akikun said things didn't work out with her because of sex. That she didn't, how should I put it, give you what you wanted? That was part of it. But not all. If I'd really loved her, I think I could have been patient. If I'd been sure that I loved her, I mean. But I wasn't, Erika nodded. Even if we'd gone all the way, things most likely would have ended up the same, I said. I think it was inevitable. Is it hard on you? She asked. Is what hard? Suddenly being on your own after being a couple sometimes. I said honestly. But maybe going through that kind of tough, lonely experience is necessary when you are young? Part of the process of growing up? You think so? The way surviving hard winters makes a tree grow stronger, the growth rings inside it tighter. I tried to imagine growth rings inside me. But the only thing I could picture was a leftover slice of bonkuchen cake, the kind with tree-like rings inside it. I agree that people need that sort of period in their lives, I said. It's even better if they know that it'll end someday, she smiled. Don't worry. I know you'll meet somebody nice soon, I hope so, I said. Erika mulled over something while I helped myself to the pizza. Tanimura-kun, I wanted to ask your advice on something. Is it okay? Sure, I said. This was another problem I often had to deal with, people I'd just met wanting my advice about something important. And I was pretty sure that what Erika wanted my advice about wasn't very pleasant. I'm confused, she began. Her eyes shifted back and forth, like those of a cat in search of something. I'm sure you know this already, but though Aki-kun's in his second year of cramming for the entrance exams, he barely studies. He skips exam prep, school a lot, too. So I'm sure he'll fail again next year. If he aimed for a lower tier school, he could get in somewhere, but he has his heart set on Waseda. He doesn't listen to me or to his parents. It's become like an obsession for him, but if he really feels that way, he should study hard so that he can pass the Waseda exam, and he doesn't. Why doesn't he study more? He truly believes that he'll pass the entrance exam if luck is on his side, Erika said. That studying is a waste of time. She sighed and went on. In elementary school, he was always at the top of his class academically. But once he got to junior high, his grades started to slide. He was a bit of a child prodigy. His personality just isn't suited to the daily grind of studying. He'd rather go off and do crazy things on his own. I'm the exact opposite. I'm not all that bright, but I always buckle down and get the job done. He looks so natural. I hadn't studied very hard myself and had got into college on the first try. Maybe luck had been on my side. I'm very fond of Aki-kun, she continued. He's got a lot of wonderful qualities. But sometimes it's hard for me to go along with his extreme way of thinking. Take this thing with Kansai dialect. Why does somebody who was born and raised in Tokyo go to the trouble of learning Kansai dialect and speak it all the time? I don't get it. I really don't. At first I thought it was a joke, but it isn't. He's dead serious. I think he wants to have a different personality, to be somebody different from who he's been up till now, I said. That's why he only speaks Kansai dialect. I agree with you that it's a radical way of dealing with it. Erika picked up a slice of pizza and bit off a piece the size of a large postage stamp. She chewed it thoughtfully before she spoke. Tanimura-kun, I'm asking this because I don't have anyone else to ask. You don't mind? Of course not, I said. What else could I say? As a general rule, she said, when a guy and a girl go out for a long time and get to know each other really well, the guy has a physical interest in the girl, right? As a general rule, I'd say so, yes. If they kiss, he'll want to go further. Normally, sure. You feel that way too. Of course, I said, but Aki-kun doesn't. When we're alone, he doesn't want to go any further. It took a while for me to choose the right words. That's a personal thing, I said finally. People have different ways of getting what they want. Kitaru likes you a lot, that's a given, but your relationship is so close and comfortable he may not be able to take things to the next level, the way most people do. You really think so? I shook my head. To tell the truth, I don't really understand it. I have never experienced it myself. I'm just saying that could be one possibility. Sometimes it feels like he doesn't have any sexual desire for me. I'm sure he does. But it might be a little embarrassing for him to admit it. But we're 20 adults already. Old enough not to be embarrassed. Some people might mature a little faster than others, I said. Erika thought about this. She seemed to be the type who always tackles things head on. I think Kitaru is honestly seeking something, I went on. In his own way, at his own pace. It's just that I don't think he's grasped yet what it is. That's why he can't make any progress. If you don't know what you are looking for, it's not easy to look for it. Erika raised her head and stared me right in the eye. The candle flame was reflected in her dark eyes, a small, brilliant point of light. It was so beautiful I had to look away. Of course, you know him much better than I do, I averred. She sighed again. Actually, I'm seeing another guy besides Akikun, she said. A boy in my tennis club who's a year ahead of me. It was my turn to remain silent. I truly love Akikun, and I don't think I could ever feel the same way about anybody else. Whenever I'm away from him, I get this terrible ache in my chest, always in the same spot. It's true. There is a place in my heart reserved just for him. But at the same time I have this strong urge inside me to try something else. To come into contact with all kinds of people. Call it curiosity, a thirst to know more. It's a natural emotion and I can't suppress it, no matter how much I try. I pictured a healthy plant outgrowing the pot it had been planted in. When I say I'm confused, that's what I mean, Erika said. Then you should tell Kitaru exactly how you feel, I said. If you hide it from him that you are seeing someone else, and he happens to find out anyway, it'll hurt him. You don't want that. But can he accept that? The fact that I'm going out with someone else. I imagine he'll understand how you feel, I said. You think so? I do, I said. I figured that Kitaru would understand her confusion. Because he was feeling the same thing. In that sense, they really were on the same wavelength. Still, I wasn't entirely confident that he would calmly accept what she was actually doing or might be doing. He didn't seem that strong a person to me. But it would be even harder for him if she kept a secret from him or lied to him.